Hello, my name is Diana and I will be talking about advertisement in this presentation. So the younger generation is the main target for marketers in the United States, yet advertising can lead to many problems including self-image, consumer culture, and decision making. In my presentation, I will talk about the tactics marketers use, why the younger population is targeted, and how it affects teens and children due to advertisement. So it's important to understand the two ways of advertisement. There's traditional advertising and product placement. So what makes these different is that traditional advertisements is usually seen during commercial times, during like TV shows played on the cable. And product placement is different because it has become a common tactic to advertise and has been normalized, putting ads everywhere in the media, and it could be found in the following list right here. So it has become common and it's different than the traditional advertisement just because it's not that it's an indirect way of advertising. So this is due because it can be very useful for entertainment films and independent product companies, often reducing their budget. So the purpose of product placement is to achieve prominent audience exposure, visibility, attention, and interest. Also to increase brand awareness and increase consumer memory to recall of a brand or product. In other words, it's trying to create a relationship between the consumer and the products to the point where the consumer has a certain feeling towards the specific product or brand, because it's not unknowingly, it's not really bothering them constantly, unlike traditional advertisement. There are 46.4 million kids under 12 years old in the United States. American business have came to terms that kids have become the prize, and children are easily influenced by clothes, music, and electronics, totaling about 50 billion in purchases each year. Big industries often spend 17 billion each year on just marketing and advertising to children. They make a big amount of profit. Children's social worlds are increasingly constructed around consuming, as brands and products have came to determine who's in and out. So 3 reasons why children are the main target is because American children today have a great deal of their money being spent, And another reason why is because children can influence their parents' consumer behavior, such as snacks, cereal, shampoo, and cars, trips, and media equipment, all sorts of things. And children have developed loyalty to particular brands of product at an early age, and these preferences often persist into their adulthood. So commercialization and digitalization has led to many public and health problems that children are facing, like juvenile, tobacco use, eating disorders, and violence, and that's all related to advertising and marketing. The problem is also that fundamental message of advertising has become that we should buy a product in order to become happy, which ultimately leads to overbuying, which leads to depression and low self-esteem in children. I think at that point, children are already used to seeing ads everywhere that they just want to keep on spending their money. So one of the health problems that could stem from advertisement can be obesity. So there are a lot of advertisement on snacks, cereal, candy, and all sorts of sugary things that don't really have much nutrition. Children are often have a lot of influence over these things because they look good and tasty. That's what marketers want, and they are smart and persuade their parents to buy them into thinking, oh, it's a new trending thing, your child must have it. Alright, so that is all for my presentation. I hope this was an interesting topic to learn about. Advertising is pretty much everywhere: schools, hospitals, buses, public venues, just anywhere really. And I think it's important to know what these companies are trying to do and what negative effects children may experience.